Hello everyone, this is the History Spectrum channel. In this video, we will be discussing Alp Arslan, a man who was active in what is now Turkey, Syria, and Iran in the 11th century. Some very noble stories about him will be told, so please watch to the end. Alp Arslan's Battle of Manzikert. The Battle of Manzikert is a historical battle in which the Seljuk Empire with Alp Arslan won a great victory over the Byzantine Empire. The battle was won by the Seljuk side due to their superior use of tactics and Alp Arslan's wisdom in identifying the enemy's weaknesses. Both sides led huge armies, especially the Seljuks, who used their cavalry to play the Byzantines at their mercy. The eve of the Battle of Manzikert was a critical period of tension and strategy that prepared the way for the great victory that followed. The climax of the Battle of Manzikert was an overwhelming victory for the Seljuk army. Alp Arslan defeated the Byzantine army with skillful tactics and the courage of his soldiers. In particular, the Seljuks surrounded the Byzantines and took advantage of the chaos to win the battle. This battle is a historical moment that demonstrated to the world the power of the Seljuk Empire and the leadership of Alp Arslan. The impact of the Battle of Manzikert was enormous, defining the expansion of the Seljuk Empire and the decline of the Byzantine Empire. This victory left Anatolia in the hands of the Seljuk Empire and had a profound impact on later regional politics. For example, after this victory, the Seljuk Empire aggressively Islamized Anatolia and many Turks began to settle in the region. The Battle of Manzikert was an important turning point not only in the Middle East but also in world history, and its consequences continue to have an impact to this day. Reforms and policies. As a ruler, Alp Arslan made the economy and administration more efficient and the country richer. He increased the country's wealth and strengthened governance by reforming the monetary system, establishing a tax system, and centralizing the administration. For example, he introduced a new coinage to stimulate trade and stabilize markets. These reforms made the Seljuk Empire an economic and administrative power and improved the lives of its people. Alp Arslan greatly improved the military power of the Seljuk Empire. He created an easy-to-move army based on cavalry and innovated in strategy and tactics. In particular, the cavalry tactics he introduced made it possible to defeat the enemy quickly. These military reforms were the basis for the Seljuk Empire's victories in many battles. Alp Arslan also devoted himself to the development of culture and learning. He protected artists and scholars and promoted many cultural projects, including architecture. For example, during his reign, many schools and hospitals were built, and a great deal of art was produced. Alp Arslan's cultural policies made the Seljuk Empire rich not only materially but also spiritually. Byzantine relations and diplomacy. Tensions between the Byzantine and Seljuk empires were rooted in a long competition for territory and influence. As both empires expanded to dominate the Mediterranean and the Middle East, they naturally became competitors. In particular, the struggle for control of the Anatolian Peninsula was a major source of tension between the two empires. The early clashes between the Byzantines and Seljuks were an important precursor to the later Battle of Manzikert. Diplomacy between the Byzantine and Seljuk empires was a cycle of tension and peace. Sometimes temporary peace was made through negotiations or marriage alliances, and sometimes wars flared up over territorial or religious differences. Alp Arslan attempted to make peace with the Byzantine Emperor Romanos, but they eventually confronted each other at the Battle of Manzikert. These developments symbolized the complex diplomatic relations between the two empires, which often bounced back and forth between war and peace. After the Battle of Manzikert, relations between the Byzantines and Seljuks changed dramatically. The battle solidified the Seljuks' dominance in Anatolia and weakened the Byzantines. After the battle, Alp Arslan signed a lucrative peace treaty with the Byzantines, extending the influence of the Seljuk Empire. The Battle of Manzikert was a decisive event that redefined the relationship between the Byzantines and Seljuks and redrew the political map of the Middle East. His personal life and character. Alp Arslan had a close relationship with his family and greatly influenced the power structure within his family. His family played an important role in the governance of the Seljuk Empire, and Arslan himself had many descendants. His sons, for example, served as successors and rulers of many provinces. Alp Arslan's family relationships contributed greatly to his political ambitions and the future of the empire. Alp Arslan was a strong and charismatic leader whose personality and leadership style attracted many. He was decisive, fair yet passionate, and respected both as a warrior and a ruler. His courageous actions on the battlefield and his generosity toward his enemies are good examples of his leadership traits. Alp Arslan's character was the cornerstone of his success. and his leadership speaks volumes to this day. Alp Arslan's life is marked by numerous anecdotes and legends that keep his memory alive. His bravery, compassion, and heroism in battle have been the subject of many stories and poems. Particularly famous is the story of his generosity after his capture of the Byzantine Empire. The anecdotes and legends of Alp Arslan are a colorful representation of his character and greatness, and have had a profound influence on later generations. Alp Arslan's legacy and his place in history. After Alp Arslan's death, the Seljuk Empire experienced civil strife due to succession issues. The loss of his strong leadership led to power struggles among the various factions within the empire. In particular, his sons fought over the rule of the empire, which led to its temporary weakening. The death of Alp Arslan was a turning point for the Seljuk Empire and had a profound impact on the subsequent course of the empire. Alp Arslan is held in very high regard by historians and literature. His bravery, tactical acumen, and his great victory at the Battle of Manzikert place him as a legendary hero. In many poems and stories, he is celebrated as a great hero, and his battles and reign continue to be studied to this day. Alp Arslan's legacy has long been celebrated for the cultural and political impact he left behind. Alp Arslan's legacy has had a profound impact on contemporary cultural, political, and historical perceptions. His reign has shaped the historical pathways of the Middle East region and influenced the cultural identity of many countries in the modern era. In countries such as Turkey and Iran, for example, he is spoken of as a national hero, and his name and anecdotes have left their mark on many places and cultural elements. Alp Arslan is remembered not only as a great ruler of the past, but also as an iconic figure in contemporary cultural and political identity formation. Alp Arslan and the captive enemy general. This anecdote is told after Alp Arslan captured the Byzantine Emperor Romanos. The story goes that during negotiations, Romanos asked if he should kiss his feet, and Alp Arslan, out of respect for his position, offered his hand instead. This story will amuse viewers as it demonstrates his nobility and surprising generosity to his enemies. How was it? In this video, we discussed Alp Arslan, an outstanding leader who has left his mark on history. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like this video. History Spectrum.